he would pay too much attention to the other kids. So I'd get upset and I'd just go cry under a tree, you know?
All right, Dan, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to Kicking Back with Mac.
Kicking back with Mac, I like it.
You like that?
Yeah,
A little
that's
play
good.
on like a chill vibe, but
Yeah.
still related to soccer.
That's good.
You were born in Happy Valley Goose Bay, Newfoundland?
Yeah,
Is that
well,
correct?
Labrador. I don't know the difference between Newfoundland and Labrador,
True,
but
fair enough, my
I don't
bad.
know. I don't know if it really matters to make a distinction there.
Yeah,
but
true.
Technically Labrador, but I don't really know what that means.
Do people ever raise an eyebrow and question, wait, actually, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so. It's a fun fact that I like to use. Is
Yeah.
the place I was born is called Happy Valley Goose Bay.
It is crazy.
So it is wild, but it's true. But from what I've heard about Happy Valley Goose Bay and pictures I've seen, I don't know if it's really much of a tourist attraction.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
I don't know if I'm planning on going back or not.
Despite the name, right? It feels like something that should
Feels
be
like it could be a cool little
yeah.
town, but I don't know there's much there apart from the RAF base.
Right. And then you grew up in England, obviously, Harrogate.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like? What do you miss about living there throughout your entire childhood that, you can't really experience anymore now that you're in Canada?
More than the place, I would say the people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like my family is still over there. A lot of my friends that I went to school with that I'm still very close with to this day
Yeah.
live over there. So it's always nice to go back and more see the people than the place. Obviously there's some culture differences there that don't really help with a soccer career because it's all going down the pub and drinking pints with the boys.
True,
So I don't know if I would be where I am with my soccer career right now if I stayed in
had
England.
that.
Chinese takeaways in England are better than they are here,
Interesting.
and that's just a fact.
That's just a fact,
That's
eh?
just a fact.
You talked about culture differences. I want to also get to the point in your career where you moved to the States, play for Western Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you experience any culture shock going to the US, coming from England?
Everything's a lot bigger in the States.
Your Chinese takeaways this big
Chinese
instead of like
takeaways this big and it's a little different.
Yeah. Do you remember any conversations where you would slip the word football in referencing soccer and people would just take it a completely different direction?
I purposefully started using soccer because
Yeah.
I would always say football, and then if it was a new person I was talking to, I'd be like, I play football at the college, and then they'd be like, oh, you mean soccer? Oh yeah, because you're English, right? And then we get into all that stuff, and I had that conversation so many times that I just said soccer.
Traitor.
To avoid having to go
Any
through that, oh yeah,
confusion.
you're English, right? Can you say water? And I say water, and they find it funny.
Man, your American accent is really good.
I've been perfecting it, especially when I say my name in like a restaurant. I have to say Dan instead of Dan, because they always said Don, D-O-N.
Like Don. Oh,
They
Don.
hear Don when I say Dan. They're like Don, and I'm like, no, Dan.
That kind of ages you, Don.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm not a
that's
Don.
not a good one.
So I
you're 80 maybe.
perfected the American accent to avoid confusion.
One of the funny things I watched was a video of you, I think on the Forge interview, Instagram, and they were asking what the earliest football memory you had was, and you said crying under a tree when your dad was coaching you or
Yeah.
something.
I don't know if that's a memory or one of those things where you've been told about it so many times that you like form a memory in your mind.
Yes,
So I think I might have been a bit young to actually remember it, but my dad would always tell the story where he would coach my team when I was like 4 years old, and he would pay too much attention to the other kids. So I'd get upset and I'd just go cry under a tree, as you do.
Right, duh.
What else would I do? Because I know the exact tree
Oh, you
that I
know
would
the
go
tree?
and cry on. I know the field. I just don't actually remember
The moment.
The moment, but I've been told the story enough times where it's basically a
If
memory.
the tree exists, then
Yeah.
surely that happened.
And I cried under it.
Yeah.
So like,
I've heard you're a big Will Ferrell guy.
big Will Ferrell. Where have you heard that from?
Don't worry about
but
it.
it's true.
Listen, I've got a couple Will Ferrell movies that I want to rank. Blades of Glory.
Seen that.
Seen it?
Amazing.
Here we go. Step Brothers. Seen
Even
it?
better.
Duh. Elf.
Oh my goodness, this is gonna be tough.
I know.
This is
It's
gonna be
really
really
hard.
tough.
Anchorman.
I've seen it, yeah.
Okay, it's going well so far. Wedding Crashers.
I haven't seen Wedding Crashers.
Okay, but I don't
know,
think he
right?
plays a huge role
Right,
in that.
okay,
so
that
I think
probably
we can
makes
go
sense.
without it.
What the
Austin Powers.
Yeah, I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Okay, but similar situation. I think he's more of a side character.
Yeah, he is. It's between Elf and Step Brothers. So Step Brothers was my favorite movie growing up. Me and
Oh,
my
really?
buddy, we used to love it. We could recite every line. And then Elf, I watch it every year with my mum. It's like one of her
Christmas time,
favorite movies,
classic.
Christmas time, because I go back once a year
Oh,
at Christmas,
nice.
so we
Yeah.
always watch Elf. I would say Step Brothers
Okay.
is number one. Then Elf,
Okay.
Blades of Glory,
Okay.
which is also amazing. Blades of Glory is great.
Yeah, you had a good reaction to that one.
And then Anchorman,
Okay.
and then Austin Powers. I'm not really a big
Okay,
Austin Powers
you know what,
guy.
and that's fair. He's not as prominent either. You said you can recite pretty much every word in Step Brothers. Is there one scene that you could probably do right now?
I feel like I don't know if I should say it on camera. A lot of them, you know.
True.
So much room for activities. Yeah. Did we just become best friends? I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. Yeah, I got a lot.
Okay, that's all I have, Dan. Great job.
Okay.
Don, just kidding.
Ton, yeah.
I appreciate
Dan.
you.